Hey guys, thanks a lot for clicking on the video. This week we'll be discussing about the COVID situation in Singapore. So let's get started. So the first thing is, how many cases are there in Singapore? So for last 3 to 4 months, the number of cases has been reduced to 0 to 1. That means every day we get only either 1 or 0 cases in the community. That means the situation is pretty much under control. But definitely there are cases that are imported, and every day we get around 10 to 20 and sometimes even 40 cases that are imported, but they directly go to the stay home notice and never mingle to the community. This brings us to the second topic. What are the travel restrictions of entering in Singapore and what is the stay home notice? So at the moment, irrespective of which country you are in, if you want to enter to Singapore, you have to go through an approval process, and that approval process need you to apply beforehand into the Singapore government website. And from there, once you get an approval, you enter into Singapore, and depending on the country you are coming from, you get a stay home notice of either 7 days or 14 days. So there are certain low risk countries where the COVID-19 situation is pretty much under control. For them, they get 7 days notice. And if you're coming from a country like India or America or any other highly impacted countries, then you get a 14 days stay home notice. Even though the name is stay home, you actually have to stay in a hotel. And this facility is assigned to you when you enter into the Singapore right at the airport. And also there is a charge of $2,000 that you have to pay from your own pocket if you want to arrive into Singapore and use that facility. That means, in simple language, if you want to come to Singapore, you have to spend at least $2,000 in your stay home notice. In that dedicated facility, it's mostly a hotel where you get accommodation and food for 14 days, and you are not allowed to even talk to anybody. You're not allowed to go out of your room. And there are a lot of videos on YouTube that are sharing their experience of stay home notice. So you should definitely check them out. Now, coming to the approval process, the approval process is not that easy. Many of the people who are work pass holders, that means who are, even though they are foreigners, they are working in Singapore and they have an employment pass, they have a dependent pass, or they have any other long-term pass. It's not easy to get an approval to come into Singapore because the government wants to throttle the traffic that is coming inside so that they can effectively manage the stay home notice and keep the country safe from another infection outbreak. Even though it's hard to get an approval, but still there are guys who got approval. And I have also made another video with one of the guys who came into Singapore after the COVID-19 outbreak. And the video you can find by clicking on the I button. Now, coming to the third topic, what are the restrictions for the residents in Singapore? So at the moment, first thing is very important. Everybody has to follow social distancing and wear a mask. You cannot meet in the group of more than 8 people. And also, if you are hosting people, if you are having guests at your home, you cannot have more than 8 guests all over the day. Also, if you are the guest, then you cannot visit more than 2 households within one day. So many people think that how the government keeps this check and how they make sure that people are following these rules. Actually, it's a hard problem to solve, but because the law and order is so strict and also the CCTV surveillance is quite good, that's why people do not take risk. And if the government makes a rule, then people follow it. In case you do not follow a rule, there are many examples. You can search on the internet. People have got fines of $2,000, $5,000, even $10,000, and it can even lead to a more serious consequences. So that is why people prefer to follow the rules and stay safe. Now, the next question is, what are the facilities that are open within Singapore? So practically everything is open, right from the school for our kids to offices, to gym facilities, to swimming pools, to sports grounds. Everything is open, but everywhere you have to follow social distancing, and there is a limit of 8 people also. So the country is opening up, but moderation is really important to stop another outbreak. Also at the restaurants, the sitting facility is, there is a gap of 1 table in between every 2 tables so that people cannot mix up. Also, if you cannot make a booking of more than 8 people. And if you're a group that is bigger than 8 people, you can book 2 tables, but you are not allowed to talk between 2 tables. So that practically makes the combined lunches impossible. Now, coming to the office culture and the software companies and other companies, how they are managing their workforces during the COVID-19 outbreaks. So even though there are not much cases at the local level, companies are still taking a lot of precaution, and most companies have divided their workforce into team A, team B, where team A comes to work at first week and the team B comes to work at second week, and the people from team A and team B cannot meet in the office area. So this Team A, Team B system is pretty much standard in many of the companies, and this is done to make sure that if an infection breaks out within Team A, then the Team B people are safe and not impacted, and the company's operation can still go on smoothly. And there are also many companies who are still in the full work from home mode, and they are encouraging their employees to not come to office at least for next few quarters. Now, coming to the last and the most important topic for many of you, what is the hiring status for companies within Singapore? So as you already know that it's pretty hard for people to come from overseas within Singapore. That's why companies are preferring to hire people within Singapore, and still at the moment, chances of getting hired for a person who does not live here is pretty slim. But still, the world should not lose hope, because the vaccination drives have already started, and Singapore is also using the Pfizer vaccine to vaccinate all its residents before 2021. And I think after that, the border restrictions may become a bit more relaxed. And similarly, in all over the world, the vaccination drive is on full roll. And if the world gets vaccinated, then the COVID-19 situation can come under control. And definitely, there will be more opportunities in future. So let's be optimistic and hope for the best. Thanks a lot for watching the video. There are other 26 videos on my channel. Please do check them out. And also please press the like button and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, peace.